I didn't think it was possible to be more disgusted and sick than I was earlier. But after watching the entire video of Sandra Bland's arrest, I am mortified, appalled, and outright disgraced by the actions of this officer, of these officers, excuse me. This officer blatantly lies to his sergeant and tells him over the phone that he did not tell Miss Bland she was under arrest until he had her out of the car. When it clearly shows in his own dash cam video that he stated, "You are under arrest, get out of the car." She said, "I'm not under arrest. Why do I have to step out of the car?" He states, "You are under arrest." She asks, "Why?" At this point, she becomes very combative. Profanities are slurred everywhere. But the fact of the matter is, there was no reason for this stop. The video clearly shows this man speeds up. He's behind her. So in an attempt to remove herself out of this officer's line of path, or excuse me, his path, this lady moves over and forgets to signal. And it cost her her life. It cost her her life. Now tell me something, people. How many of you have been pulled over? How many of you have had a routine traffic violation? Yes. Was Miss Bland very combative? She was. Was she very irate? Absolutely. But did she deserve to die? No. Did she deserve to be brutalized and victimized the way that she was? No. And then here's the beautiful part of the whole video. You have this Uncle Tom, black female officer, who then comes into the scene and says, "Ma'am, stop resisting." This lady has been beaten. She has been slung to the ground. Her head has been damaged. She has been hurt. She has been forcefully removed out of her car. She has been threatened with a taser. And then she's told that she is resisting arrest. Because she refused to put out a cigarette. Now, I researched the laws in Texas. Prairie View, to be exact, where she is, there's no law that says you can't smoke in your car. So why was it such a big deal that this woman had a cigarette in her mouth? Why did this officer continue to harass this woman? Why didn't he just write the ticket and let her go about her day? Because that would have been too easy. This officer knew damn well who she was. After looking at her license, he knew damn well who she was. And he purposely antagonized her. He stopped a civilian a pedestrian, from filming, told them they had to leave. I thought it was in my constitutional right to film anything, especially a public arrest. You brutalize this woman. You assault her. And then you say she kicked you. She kicked you. Sir, you tried to drag her out of her car. You are a poor excuse for an officer, and even worse, an excuse of a man. Stop using your badges as a rite of passage to beat the hell out of people, officers. You're making other law enforcement look bad. Black people, stop compromising yourselves for a paycheck. What is a paycheck really worth to you anymore? Is it worth your sanity? Is it worth your culture? Is it worth shading and covering white, right, and wrong? White and black? Perhaps. But we all owe God a death. Therefore, we shall all be judged. There's no way around the fact that this woman was murdered. There's no way around the fact that this officer was well out of line. This female officer, she came on the scene and she saw this woman being very combative, and maybe she was being a little resistant, but this was after she was beaten, after she was victimized, and after she was purposely harassed for something as small as failing to signal. How many of us use our signal every time we drive a car? Every time we change lanes? How many of us haven't moved the hell out of a police officer's way when you see him coming flying up behind you? I know I'll do it. A police gets behind me, I switch lanes and give them the whole lane, which is exactly what Sandra Bland tried to do before she was assaulted and victimized. I'm disgusted by this. I've watched the whole 52-minute video and I'm disgusted. This woman had no reason to die. She was in a new city for one day and she lost her life. But you know what? This isn't the first time a woman has died in police custody, and it's apparent suicide. And it won't be the last. If we allow this to continue to happen, it will continue to happen. Something must give, people. We have got to stand for something or fall to everything.